What's good, everybody? We are back. It is your boy Jarod, your girl Gabby, episode 72 of the Kicks and Shit Show. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, let's get right into
that
this.
was different. Okay, that was like
it was like it was like
you
sort of,
over it a little bit?
but like no amplification. I didn't do the mega horn. I kind of just like, let's just keep it chill, whatever. How are
Chill
you?
vibes, Rod.
Chill vibes. We are playing our favorite game on this show. Where in the world is Gabby Rosenthal? Gabby, where are you today?
Well, Gerard, I'm glad that you asked because since we last recorded live from Alabama, I've been to Dallas, New York, Atlanta for some SneakerCon action, which I would love to tell you more about
Yes,
in a minute.
we'll get into that.
And currently in Vegas, my bi-coastal home away from home.
I see.
Because I don't have a home in New York.
Folks, we were supposed to be getting KNS West Coast digs. Clearly, Gabby said, well, about that LA thing, I'm just going to stop in Vegas instead.
Vegas
That seems to
close,
work better.
Stopped here, back like I never left.
You did mention SneakerCon, which we will get to. So that's what's going on in your streets. Because you're not going to ask me what's going on in my streets because you're rude.
I was going to ask you, but you just keep talking the whole time, Gerard. You're like, you ask me, you're polite, it's amazing, and then you're like, and now we're getting into it. I'm like, I feel like this is a plot. I don't know. You guys let us know because
it is.
I'm a polite bitch, What's going on in these streets, Jay? Let me hear it.
NBA, is here. We got, stuff going on. All kinds of excitement. So there's that. Busy sort of planning out the season, content. You know how that goes, Gabs. You got to get your content calendar happening. KNS content calendar, of course, figuring out that. Trying to see what's happening in these sneaker streets this fall and winter. Releases, what's coming out, what am I thinking about? Because believe it or not, we're already almost halfway through October. Which means
I don't know how this happened, honestly. I mean, I feel like
we, the royal we say that all the time. I don't know how it's X. But yeah, we do know. It's because time just fucking flies. That's just the reality of life.
The work continues, as a wise man once told me.
Yes. The work continues. It just never stops. The thing is that when you are in school, you have these built-in breaks that somehow cause time to speed up, slow down, whatever. Once you're not doing that anymore, you're just on the hamster wheel. And it feels like you never get off. And you're like, damn, it's winter already? And then next thing you know, wait, it's summer? And you're like, wait, 2 years?
Damn, I'm 45. When did that happen?
Literally.
For the record, I just want to say for everyone listening, I am very far from 45.
But to that point.
I'm not even 45.
I'm not even 45. But to that point, you wake up one day and you realize, wait, did 2 years just pass? Like, yeah, 2 years passed. Like, think about it. 2022, Gabby, is next year. 3 months away. That's crazy talk.
I don't have a reaction. I know you're looking for me to make some kind of weird, crazy face. I don't know. I mean, it's just weird shit.
And then COVID, of course, sped it all up and
slowed it down at first.
But slowed it down and sped it up at the same time.
Then reversed it,
It was
sped it
just
up,
weird.
and now I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I had for lunch yesterday.
I don't even know what you had for lunch today. Do you? What did you have for lunch today?
I had a burger today.
You're like, oh, what did I have for lunch?
Think about that one. I am drinking this. This is my new caffeinated beverage of the week, you guys. Because the last thing I need is coffee and caffeine. It's Coca-Cola with coffee vanilla.
That sounds dangerous, and yeah.
It sounds delicious.
Someone like you does not need that. But let's get into this because, our guest today, we're looking forward to that. Someone from the world of music, sneakers, entertainment. Really excited for you guys to see who this person is. And we'll talk about SneakerCon some more with her. Oh, damn, I already gave it away, said her.
John, you did so good with the build-up on that one.
I know. Wait.
You revealed now where she's based out of.
Wait, do you think people, because I said her, do you think people think it's her?
H-E-R?
Yes, H-E-R, her, yeah.
Gerard, I know we get some really dope guests on the show.
It's not her.
We're not there yet, but we are manifesting, you guys. Yeah. We're going to get her on the show, and her guest today is amazing.
It is amazing. But anyway, you were at SneakerCon, so how was it down in Atlanta? I know you connected with some of our former guests, Sneaker Fetish, a.k.a. Kari, TJ, who else did you connect with? Jazz, Jezreel and Lord. I mean, you were seeing all the friends out there. So how was SneakerCon?
Well, it was like a family reunion, Jarod. And it's funny because, as you know, most of my stuff is in storage right now. So I have a very select few pairs of sneakers that I've had to choose from. And, like, I can't just show up in some, like...
No, you got to bring heat to SneakerCon.
I mean, I wouldn't show up anywhere in Crocs, respectfully. But I got to have heat in these feet in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So you guys know, you've seen it on Instagram already, especially by the time this episode drops. I undead stocked one of my grail of grails, which most people have that as a regular schmegular pair. To me, that is a grail. It has been highs, lows. It's been an emotional journey. I laughed, I cried. I was so excited to put them on.
Did you get a couple? Wait, did you get a second pair? Did you get a second pair?
Not yet, but that's
but that's coming. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next payday, check please. Second pair. They're just so good. They're classic. They go with everything. And I was like, you know what? I know everyone's going to be in the Travis Scott Fragment Lows.
Of course.
I thought there were going to be a lot of people in Dunks, which there were, but not as many as I would think. And there's going to be a whole sea of ones. And, like, I love all those styles, so there's no shade there. But I'm like, if I bust out an OG classic, like the Wave Runner.
Yeah, you were looking official.
And I have my eBay NFC tag on it. What's really cool about that is that eBay is one of the co-sponsors of SneakerCon. That's actually who eBay partners with in terms of authenticity guarantee. And they were making legit checks on site, which I think is super dope because, like, when you have people coming in from town, wheeling and dealing, like the trading pit, to me is one of the most fascinating things at SneakerCon.
I saw a video.
Kids, the parents wait on the side with their arms crossed, being like, "Why are we here?" And the kids are like, $5, $10. I feel like you're in like the streets of Agrabah with the negotiations. It's amazing and beautiful to watch. But like, shouts to eBay for being a legit check because little homie from Birmingham or wherever
tried to hustle you.
You never know. He could just be here to hustle me.
What were the 5 most visible sneakers that were on? So the 5 pairs that you saw the most.
Definitely Air Jordan 1s in all varieties. I knew there were going to be a lot of ladies rocking the silver toe ones, which is why I've kept mine on ice.
So a million colorways, Jordan 1s. Okay, that was probably an easy guess.
Jordan 1s, Travis Scott, Fragment Lows.
Okay.
That was hands down the most popular sneaker.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised, but like, okay.
Between the legit checks and that, everywhere.
Okay.
There was a ton of Dunk Lows, so I rocked my Dunk Highs, the Pandas, the night before.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. Atlanta's a warmer climate than New Jersey and New York, so there was a lot more lows than highs. Definitely a ton of Dunks. Those were definitely the most popular.
Yeezys?
Otherwise, it was much a variety. There were some Yeezys, yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't one like pinpointed style. I think if I had to pick a silhouette, the 350s were what I saw the most.
Of course.
And then, I loved seeing New Balance kind of make an appearance. There was a lot of New Balance. Our guy Kari was rocking some Joe Fresh Goods New Balance kicks with a fire fit.
I like it.
Yeah, it was a good, to me, I make shoe contact before eye contact. So it was funny because I felt like I was doing a lot of double takes with people that I'm like, I feel like I know you through social media, but we haven't had events IRL in a long time. So there's a lot of DM sliding, a lot of like, allow me to reintroduce myself, that kind of moment. But it was really beautiful to see. Like, I couldn't believe how many people flew in for this moment.
Yes.
Like a friend of mine, T Mark, had his own shop there, so I bought one of his long sleeve tees. He is always crushing it with the hat game, and like Urban Necessities was there, so JC was there, just like shooting content, meeting people. So it's really cool to see like the caliber of people that were there, not just as exhibitionists, but just like shooting the shit.
And we'll get into it more with our guest, and of course I'm sure that the feeling of community there, right, and the people who you got to meet and spend, not obviously in the big convention area near the pit where it's like literally where it is like, capitalism at its like purest form, right? Like not those moments, but like the smaller like side areas where like 3 or 4 of you gathered and just had a conversation, or you saw someone's merch and, those kinds of things. So I bet that was important. I'm looking forward to getting to that with our guests. What was the merch like? Were people like really showing off some like cool design, streetwear stuff?
So I thought the merch was fire. I mean, I'm rocking this SneakerCon Atlanta t-shirt. The back is super fire. eBay had some really dope shirts. They were giving out sneakers as well with like a spin the wheel raffle kind of thing, which was really cool. Tons of pins, tons of shirts. I really love that Urban Necessities did an Atlanta-inspired like remix on their logo. So of course I had to cop a T-shirt as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great with bike shorts.
Yep.
And then you get a mix of like local vendors from all around the country that were there, you know. And it was funny. I know you mentioned like maybe meeting up on the side of the like the sides of the convention, but I think the most common meetups that I saw, honestly, like eBay was kind of smack in the middle.
Yeah.
But there was a big space between eBay and like the contest, so there was a ton of people gathered around there. I mean, I know eBay had a ton of stuff going on too, so it was that ended up being kind of like the focal point of where people were convening. And then just over by the stage, there were some really great panel discussions, and I'd love to talk more about that with our guest as well. But you know, like I said, it's the first time that a lot of these content creators and tastemakers in the culture have been at a live event in a long time. And it was National Sneaker Day on top of that.
Oh, yeah. So it was, listen, people were having a good time. I saw a lot of the videos of the jet that went down to Atlanta. A lot of heat people had on their feet. You were telling stories about the overhead bins being full before you even got up. Because I mean, everyone knows my story. Ain't nobody
putting the heat under the plane.
Nobody putting heat under the plane.
Heat rises, my friend.
You got that right. Heat is not going under no plane. Sorry, that is coming on. That is a carry-on, my friend. And yeah, if you're going to SneakerCon, I'm sure people were bringing, 7, 8, 9, 10 pairs of kicks, right? So, like, you know.
It depends. I mean, like, for me, I was like, I'm going to bring one pair that I'm wearing on the day. I'm not going to make any decisions day of. Maybe I'll bring a couple, like, T-shirt options. I think I changed my outfit 3 or 4 times before and while I was there buying things. I was like, now I need to rotate the T-shirts, you know? But it was, like I said, it was the flight down there was nothing I've ever experienced. And you would tell me that flight was sponsored by SneakerCon, I would have been like, yeah. And I think the 2 people that actually weren't going to SneakerCon that were on the flight, one of them, because I was talking with someone who mentioned my name while we were talking, the gentleman sitting in the seat behind me. So he was like, so Gabby, how do I get to SneakerCon? Like, first of all, you have to follow @KicksandShitShow on Instagram, and then that's where you get all the details, my man.
And why you putting my name out in these streets? So,
you know what? Let's put our names out in these streets, Jarod, okay?
No. I bet the guy asking, you're like, he's probably like, Gabby Rosenthal. How do I? You're like, hey, my man, chill.
I mean, that is my Instagram handle. So
it's true.
You know. That's okay.
So you are out there.
That follow button.
Well,
but yeah,
folks,
I think there's a lot to come. I think there's a lot to come in these SneakerCon streets for KNS as well. I think we're gonna have to take the show on the road for some feet in the streets.
We need to do some live shows from SneakerCon. That's coming up. Let us know, guys. If SneakerCon comes to your town, I know Boston is the city that's coming to next. If we come to your town, will you come out for the KNS live show at SneakerCon? Drop us a comment, let us know, and we'll see if we can make it happen. All right, folks, we teased our guests. Stay tuned, because coming up next, someone from the world of music, entertainment. She's obviously a sneakerhead. Really, really cool guest. Looking forward to talking with her, chopping it up about SneakerCon, what the different insights and takeaways she had from there. So don't go away. What's good, everybody? We are back, and Gabby, we're not alone. As discussed, we are joined by a sneakerhead. She is an entertainer. She is a content creator. She is also, for you hip-hop heads, she is a singer-songwriter. If you are familiar with Griselda, and I mean, listen, if you're a hip-hop head and you don't know Griselda, like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we are here with the one and only Tiona Deniece. How are you?
Hi, guys. That was a great introduction. Like, I was sitting there like,
Precious it.
oh, wait, that's me. Oh.
I was like, I can't wait to meet her.
That's me.
Oh, who we about to be? Like, that's dope. Thank you.
Listen. Anybody who does songs with Westside Gunn and listen, we gotta, come on. We got to put you, we gotta say, hey, this is you for real.
I appreciate that. That's a family right there. That's my brother. Shouts out to him. For sure, killing it right now.
For sure. So, I usually start every interview with our guests just about the same. I'm going to start the same place with you. When did you first fall in love with sneakers?
It was a dark and stormy night. It was a Tuesday. My mother was cooking grits in the kitchen. All the lies there too, because my mother doesn't even cook, bro. Like, my mom is terrible. She would try. The only thing she could make was pancakes. Outside of that, it was just not happening. She made me chicken once, and I was like, where's my grandmother? Is she? Can
she come over here?
Do this?
Did she make reservations at least?
It was like eat this or starve. So it was kind of like, all right.
Well, it's good that pancakes are something you can eat multiple times a day.
True, but my grandmother came home and it was good from there because she hooked me up.
There you go.
That was cool. But I first fell in love with sneakers. I had to have been about like maybe 12 or 13. I was always a tomboy, so for me it was like, and it's so funny because I have friends that have known me for so long. I was the only girl in my neighborhood with the sneaker, not the sneaker, but with the basketball hoop in my backyard. So the guys would come over and they'd be like, yo, you had the Nike socks. I was like, man, y'all make me sound like a dweeb. Don't do that. But it's true because I was really into just streetwear and sports gear. Like that was just me growing up. And when I was like 14, 15, my parents were like, okay, look, you're almost 16. You need a job because we're not going to be funding this anymore. We're done. And we ended up creating a relationship with the manager over at Lady Foot Locker. Because every weekend, my parents and we would go to the mall and we would hang out, go eat dinner, stuff like that. That was like our Saturday thing. And we just developed a relationship. We go into Foot Locker, obviously, Lady Foot Locker, obviously. And the manager was like, when you turn 16, come holla at me. I was like, oh, I'm about to be 16. What's up? And that was my first job. And I spent all of my money.
Foot Locker is smart though, because they know that you're going to represent that brand. Oh yeah. And that it's like you're working there for free.
I mean,
it really was.
Literally. Any time you have a job in the mall at a store where you rock the clothes, you literally work for free. Even with your discount, because you're like, oh, but I get 40% off, so let me get 3 pairs.
Even more. Yeah.
Right, so let me get the socks too. Like, it was terrible, but it proved, it served its purpose, right? Because it just further developed my love for sneakers and my love for women. Not women like women, but like women's stuff. If that makes any sense.
I'm with you, yeah, no doubt.
It's a community. Us ladies got to stick together. Absolutely.
Got to, no doubt. I'm with you on that. As a man of the ladies, I appreciate that. So you mentioned you were a tomboy growing up. So what sports were you playing? Were you a baller? You were nice on the court?
I was a basketball player, and I also played soccer.
Okay.
And I was not very good at soccer, but I had like a really good kick. So like, I made JV soccer because there was no way I was making varsity because I was not that good and I was not a runner. So it wasn't happening. So they were, and my team, we were all like, it was kind of like the degenerates, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody was good. So they were like, T, just kick the ball up the field and then we'll just run. And that was like our play. And that was it. So in the fall, it was, it was soccer. Yep. And then after that, I played basketball and that was my favorite sport.
Yeah. And so playing hoop, what was your squad growing up? What players were you emulating? And more importantly, whose kicks were you like, oh, yeah, those?
Oh, man. I know for a fact. So Grant Hill was like, I had to have the Grant Hill number. I had to be 33 because my last name is Hill. Now everybody knows my full government name. I have bad credit, y'all. Don't come for me. Letting y'all know now, your shit will get denied. Just so you know. Don't try it. $2, that's probably the limit.
I'm dead.
So that had to be my jersey number, and it just made sense, and so I had to have the Grant Hill. I also had to have the Penny because I was in love with Penny at the time. Like I wanted him to be my husband, and I did. So me and Simply B have like when I did the show at Simply B, she was like, "You loved him too." I was like, "I know, girl, but you can have him because you are a livid diehard." I just loved him then. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I had to have the Penny Twos, and it was like a big thing. You had to have fly sneakers. Yes. You had to have the right coming out music. You know what I'm saying? Like Noriega was like real big back then. So you
Super Thug. So you definitely killed the Super Thug.
Yeah, we had to. So it was, and you're running out like, yeah, knowing you're about to lose, but it didn't matter. I had to still make people think that you were dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make people think like, damn, they came out to Super Thug. They might have scored like a good 30. No. 3. But that's okay.
History.
As long as you know what it is.
It's all about that first impression, though.
Exactly. We came out fire. Like, we had the kicks, we had the dope, you know what I'm saying? And we lost. It was cool, though. It was cool.
No, I can appreciate that, right? Because I say this to Gabby all the time, right? Like, so if you're playing golf, for instance, it's a very difficult game. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be spraying that ball over the place, looking terrible, but at least I'm gonna look fly when I'm on the course, right?
Exactly.
My game ain't gonna be fly, but I'm gonna look fly.
I mean, 100%. You know, I rock those Zoom flights. My Jason Kidd's on the tennis court in high school. So I played tennis and I played basketball, and like that was fun. They were a little too big, but I was like, no matter what happens, it's a vibe.
Absolutely. Funny fact, I was the only person in my high school's history that got kicked off the tennis team.
Wow.
And
I need to know more about this. Let's unpack this one.
I love that word. It was on purpose because I was like, you know what, Venus and Serena, let's try tennis. Let's see if it'll work on me because I'm black too. Let's see. So I was like, I'm gonna try it out. And then I saw how much like agility and like running they had to do, and I was like,
I'm good.
Nah, dog, this is not for me. And at the same time, it was around the time that we were doing a spring musical. And for me, I always had to be in the musical. Like that had to happen. So I was like, how am I gonna get out of this shit? And nobody ever got kicked out of tennis because the coach was super cool. You probably smoke weed in the bathroom and shit. Like, he was one of those. He was real cool. So I was like, I gotta get kicked off of this. So I would just be, I was horrible on purpose. I did not try on purpose. And he made it like a kind of a production. He's like, well, Tiana or Tiona, because everybody messes up my name. It is what it is. Tiona, I'm sorry, but we don't really need you on the team. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh man.
Dang.
All right. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Like, yes, see you later, motherfucker. So it was like the only person in my high school history. So
look at that. That's brilliant.
Records.
You already politicking like, oh, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. This was wonderful.
Absolutely. I was practicing. Like, thank you so much. Do you want to smoke weed in the bathroom? Like, no.
You're like, we're still cool, right? Yeah.
Like, we're still good, right? You're not gonna give me an F, right? All right,
I'll give you that discounted Foot Locker. I got you, coach.
No, we weren't giving that up.
Oh, okay. Too far.
I'm dead. So you mentioned you always had to be in the school musical, so of course, natural segue. So were you always a songbird? Was that a thing for you growing up? Did you sing in the church choir? Like what? Where'd all the singing genes come from?
All of that, actually. So, and I have a funny story about that. Damn, I need to write a book. But anyway, because I just have crazy stories, and people are like, "How, dude?" I'm like, I don't know. So I was just always into music. My grandmother was an amazing singer. Well, she's still alive, so my grandmother is an amazing singer. My mom is not that amazing, but she was in this choir in Buffalo called the Varsons, and it was like this big like exclusive choir, like ooh. And when she was pregnant with me, she was still singing, up until obviously I was born or whatever. So I tell people that's kind of like music has always been in me. You know what I mean? I joined the church choir, so it was like the little kid choir, and then once you turn like 14, then you can go to the young adult choir, and that's when they would sing like Kirk Franklin songs and shit. Like they were lit. So 13, going on 14, and I was taller than everybody in the children's choir. I was big. I was tall. I was taller than everybody, and I had to be on the top row because I was a soprano. So not only was I taller than everybody else, but I was on the top row, so I really like stuck out. So if you think you got like these little kids and you got me like this, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed at the time. I'm like, I'm not singing anymore because this looks stupid because everyone's making fun of me because I'm freaking huge compared to these kids. And my pastor's wife, the pastor's wife was like the leader of the kids' church, and she felt so bad that they made a special concession for me to join the young adult choir at 13, or else I'd quit. So they didn't want me to quit, so I joined that choir. So I fit in with all the other kids. Man, that shit looks so bad. Like,
As a tall girl, I appreciate that. I had to do dance class when I was younger, and I was always a class pick because I was a whole head taller than all the boys in 7th grade. You
They're like,
laugh,
oh no,
the
that's
struggle is real.
I hear you.
Jordan's dance class.
Nope,
like,
nope.
so terrible. And then they always want to be like, oh, that's a huge bitch over there.
Oh, no.
Like,
I would be like, excuse me, little man, you're a huge bitch for calling me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Like, don't be mad because you don't have the gene. Like, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you little. I mean,
sorry, not sorry.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, Tiona, you backslid because now you out here singing secular music in these streets. Like what?
I am. But you know what? I still sing. My God, don't come for me. I still sing for the Lord now. Don't do that. Still remember my hymnals. Got my hymnal book in the back. See, you ain't even know.
Okay, you ready? All right. So you keep one foot on. So you're like, all right, let me just dip in here real quick.
I got one in the chamber.
Always, you got to.
Always, you got to.
Always keep one in the chamber. Mm-hmm.
So tell us more about. I know you mentioned you grew up in Buffalo. What was that like in terms of impacting you from styles, culture, stuff like that? And then how did you end up in ATL?
Man, it's cold. That's the first thing.
It is cold, yes.
Buffalo is very, and I've never been a fan of the winter. Never. And everybody's like, oh, you're from Buffalo. You should be. No. Just because I'm from there doesn't mean that I'm used to that. And what's funny about Buffalo is so close to Canada, for all those that don't know. We're only like an hour and a half away from Toronto. And fashion is very, at the time that I was living there, it really wasn't a thing, right? So, and I don't know if it still is because I haven't been to Buffalo in a while, but I doubt it because they just don't have, but I know that they are, forever changing. And the last time I was home, I saw a lot of resale shops. I saw a lot of like streetwear shops and stuff. And I'm like, cool. They're like starting to get more into it than when I was living there. For me, I grew up there, and then when I graduated, I graduated from college there. I went to Canisius College, shout out. And I left there, and I moved to Ohio for a little bit, and then I moved to New York City, and I lived in New York City for a number of years, and that's really where I developed my style. And also when I was in college too, because I was just around so many different people, and all of my friends, for the most part, were either from Buffalo or from New York City somewhere. So that's where a majority of my friends were. So that had a huge impact on my style. And what's funny is I never really fit in with Buffalo style, right? Like I was kind of like that Gap kid and the Nike kid. Like that was really where I spent most of my time. And when I moved to New York City, that's where I really got to understand like designer and fashion and putting fits together. And that's where I kind of wore heels for the first time. And I didn't buy my first purse until I was like 21.
Makes sense.
That's when I bought my first purse, right? Outside of that, if it didn't fit in my pocket, it wasn't going. It was fine. Like chapstick, wallet, cool. Like, that's all you need. Debit card, that's it, right? So I lived in New York City for a really long time, and I ended up moving to Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for almost 8 years or something like that. Okay. And when I decided to move here, I moved here for music. At the time, I was working with a manager that was from New York but lived down here. And he was like, you need to come down here. We're working on this. And I'm young. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to quit my job. So I just quit my job. Packed up the whip. It was like, let's go. I didn't have not one job set up. I had some money. You know what I'm saying? And when I came down, I'm like, I'm going to open a studio. Yeah. Let's just spend all my money. Okay. And, I came down here for that dream, and it was really, really hard for me to find a job. It was really, really hard for things, because pretty much everything that I thought it was going to be was the complete opposite of what it was when I got here. And I had to really learn the hard way that you can't 100, and this is no knock on anybody, to be very clear, you cannot 100% depend on somebody else for your success. Like, you cannot do that. Like, you have to work for yourself, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to set shit up and do things for yourself, because nobody else is going to take your career seriously but you. Nobody else is going to go that extra mile for your career but you. So I had to learn that the hard way. Like the super duper living in somebody's basement, I only have $10. they about to come get my car wet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was able to turn that around and, you know, make a name for myself. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there she is. You're back.
Sorry about that.
Remix.
Sorry. Somebody called me. Sorry. Nobody calls me all day long. And then
That's always how it works, right?
Always.
Everyone calls me. It's like the rainfall of calls, you know? But yeah, so I just had to figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's the short story of how I got here.
I love that though. Music and sneakers and style go hand in hand. And I know you talk a lot about your journey in music. I would love to get into more about Atlanta and the music scene because it is such like a deeply rooted, unique sound. When you got there, when you had more than $10 in your pocket and no one was coming for your car, tell us more about how that kind of evolved from that New York POV that you had. Very different.
New York and Atlanta are so different. And when I first moved down here, it was like, what did I just do? Because this is so different.
Who are these ATLiens?
Right. Who am I? Like my first week there, I was called a Yankee, and I low-key felt like they called me a racial slur that started with an N. And I was like, what? You just called me a Yankee? Like, and I had to really think about it. Like, oh, I'm in the South. Right.
It's
different. It's very different. And depending on where you are in Atlanta, the accent is different. And for me, I'm still am, but I was a hustler. So I was doing I was really into photography at the time, and I was doing club photography at these hood ass clubs. And sometimes people would say things to me and I was like, what? Huh? How much them pics is? I'm like, what? Oh, you mean how much is a picture? And then probably like, you're a jerk. And I'm like, no, I really don't understand what you're saying. But as far as like, you know, fashion, very, very different. Very like the people, the culture, everything is very different. And it's not right or wrong,
right,
bad or good. It's just different. And coming there from New York City, I'm used to, you know, being able to go like fast fashion. I'm used to being able, I can get in the car or hop on the train, go downtown, boom, boom, get what I want, leave. It's not like that here because there's not a whole lot of variety. And, you know, Lenox Mall, you got to wear your bulletproof vest now, so it's a little different.
Okay,
you got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
It's just a different, like I said, it's just a very different environment now, even from when I first moved out here to now. You know, at first, like Lenox Mall was like this luxurious place that everybody wanted to go to. And over the years, it's still a nice mall, but doesn't have that same luster because of all the craziness that goes on there. Like you want to go into Saks. There was one point you had to go into Saks, you had to wait in line to go downstairs where all the men's designer stuff was. Because there was like a fight that broke out and like a shootout or some shit in Saks. And I'm just like, what?
It's very different. You've witnessed some demographic changes in Atlanta in the 8 years you've been down there.
A lot. Yeah, just a lot of, even from coming from the north to the south, a lot. From just being here and just seeing the types of people that have started to gravitate to Atlanta, it's crazy. It's different.
Yeah, man. So now you're down in Atlanta. When did you hook up with Westside Gunn and Griselda?
Funny. It's a very funny story, as usual.
Would love it.
Brings the comedy. So I actually went to grammar school with Wes, and it was me and Wes and Keisha Plum. All three of us, we all went to the same grammar school together. And when I moved, I was living with my college roommate, who I also went to grammar school with. She doesn't remember it, but she's old, whatever. So, whatever. Don't make me pull receipts. But anywho, Wes had put up a post looking for a singer. He's like, I'm looking for a female singer. And Becky, my friend, she tagged me like 100 times. She was like, you need to hit up Tiona. You need to hit Tiona. You know Tiona. She's from Buffalo. Y'all went to school together. You know her. Did it like a million times. And he obviously saw it and hit me up and was like, T, was good. Like, come through to the studio. I'm like, all right, bet. So I came out to the studio and we ended up doing Never Coming Home on Hitler Wears Hermes 2. Linked back up with Keisha Plum. Haven't seen her since we were kids.
Wow.
And it was just like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm in Buffalo at the time. I had went home for something. Wes hits me up and he was like, T, guess what? We're on World Star. I was like, we famous.
I was lit.
That was super lit. Like, and it just kind of grew from there. Like, it's crazy story, but here we are.
How was it when you got back with them? Because again, you said you hadn't seen each other since like school. So what was the vibe like when y'all just walked in the studio together? Was it like you fell back in like we never left? Like, it was good.
Yeah, basically. I mean, what's funny, another crazy thing is he and I are both the same sign. So, and we're only like a couple of weeks apart, really. So he's a July Leo, I'm an August Leo. So it just, we both have those personalities. You know what I mean? So when you meet us, it's kind of like you know us almost. So it was just kind of like, what's up? What's been going on with you? Shit, just sitting here, bro, whatever. Oh, word up. Sorry to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
It was just a really great experience. Like, and every time we work, like, it's just a great experience. Like, that's like my brother. To see the progression and to see everything that we talked about come to fruition for them is just amazing. They used to do a show every year for Thanksgiving. And it was just a number of years ago, but I went and just to see, like, I saw Benny get out the car.
Yeah. And
when he got out of the car, he just had this aura about him. And I'm just sitting there like, yo, you're a star, my G. Like, damn. Like, just to see that and to just be around that is just super duper dope. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. Shouts to Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine. Griselda Records doing their thing out there, man.
For sure. Absolutely.
So I know we were like ships in the night at SneakerCon Atlanta. So I feel like the more you are telling me about your journey, I feel like we missed each other in New York. I missed you in Atlanta. You're an August Leo, so I need to know when your birthday is.
August 16th.
I'm the 23rd.
Oh,
stop playing with me.
Oh.
I knew
I'm not
I
playing.
loved you. I knew it.
It's a whole vibe.
That was the 21st.
I love that. A
I
whole vibe.
Oh, man, you guys are hilarious.
But I will say, though, that's the vibe that I always get from Atlanta, and that's the vibe I always get at SneakerCon. I felt like this was like a movie. It was like a family reunion. People showed up. And I know you were hosting some panels and some other dope shit on site. So I'd love to talk more about like how you kind of transitioned that into doing some hosting, getting into content creation for sneakers, and how that came to fruition at SneakerCon.
Man, another funny story. So I always, like, obviously we've talked about this. I've been in the sneakers for a long time. I had a manager that was like, you need to start posting your sneakers on Instagram more. And I was like, that's boasting. I don't want people like thinking that I think that I'm all that, because I don't think that I think that, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking we thinking, but I don't know if we think that, it's gonna really work. And he was like, you just post it. I'm like, all right. So I started like posting, my sneakers and stuff, and really paying attention to a lot of influencers that were not necessarily in the sneaker game, but just what they do. And I used to work for Monroe Steele, and I used to do her pictures back in the day in New York, and to see her moving from where she was then to where she is now is like, God dang, like I'm missing out. So that's what really got me interested into really doing content creation, because I'm like, dang, like this is fun, like it's fun. I'm into these things. I love this stuff. So F it, let's try it. Let's see what happens, right? And it just sort of took over, and I don't really know what the hell happened. I just started posting. I started this thing called Kicks of the Day Friday. Kicks of the Day Friday, where that stemmed from was every Friday at my old job, we got to dress down and wear sneakers and jeans and stuff. That's all you had to tell me. I had sneakers on every Friday with something different. And people were like, damn, you rich or something? No, I have a sneaker problem. Mind your business. So it just became like this thing, and every Friday I would showcase a shoe that was in my collection or that I wanted or whatever. And it was, I'm like, you know what, let's get other people, because I know other people are dressing down in the office too, dog. Like, what's up? You happy? I'm happy too. So it just became this thing. And people got really excited about it, and people were sending me Kicks of the Day Friday pictures like week in advance, like, I'm gonna wear these on Friday, so take that right there, post that. So it just became a thing, and I linked up with Made for the W, which used to be called WNBA Kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I knew them from a panel, like a little like focus group discussion that we did with Soul Play. Shout out to Soul Play. And I linked up with them, and they were looking for a brand ambassador, and I was like, hey, what's up? And they, you know, obviously they were like, yeah, of course. And that came into me hosting and doing the show with them, Test Run. And I loved it. I loved hosting and interviewing, and I loved like talking and meeting people and seeing like what's in their collection. And I went to SneakerCon, and I linked up with Soul Premise. And Soul Premise, shout out, I love Soul Premise. And they have the sneaker book bags that you can fit like up to five pairs of sneakers in their sneaker book bag. And I absolutely love them. We sat around, we just talked for like a good hour, the first SneakerCon that I met them at. And he actually linked me up with AJ, and that's who was doing the panels, because he was like, you would be so dope at that. And I'm like, okay, like, let's do it. Like, I'll talk about some shit, like, what up? So link me up with AJ. He and we hit it off. That's bro. Like, he's such a good dude.
AJ's dope, yeah.
He really, really is. And that's how I did my first SneakerCon panel. And then we were talking about making an all women's panel. And so, you know, we did one in DC, vibe, super fun. We did one in Atlanta. We had Ty Young come out. That was fun. That's how I met Mrs. Jones. And I met her at that panel. I was like, you need to come sit up here with us, because you over here doing your thing. Like, come on, let's go. And that just became sis from there. And it just kind of exploded into what I do now. Like, it just kind of came that way. And life is really funny like that. Like, you find something that you love, and you just start walking in that direction, and things just will automatically just start coming. And what's funny is right over here, I have my 2020 list, right? So I did this in like the beginning of 2020. I wrote down like 10 things that I wanted to accomplish for the year. One of them was buy a house or a condo, build a sneaker room. Those were the first two things. On there was like get brand partnerships. Next thing was get, you know, seated stuff so you could do unboxings. Next thing was, you know, do more content creation. And I literally found it about a month or two ago in my other room. Clearly it's a mess. That's why I found it. But it's neither here nor there. So I found it, and I literally could cross off almost everything on that list. And not even thinking about it, this is like a year later, I can literally cross off everything off that list. And it's just being able to just walking in your purpose and walking in your passion, and those things just happen. So that's kind of how I got to that.
I love that. I think there's something to manifesting. I also think sneaker culture, and we talk about this on the show a lot, right? Like, you can tell when people are genuine and authentic and passionate about what they do. At the end of the day, especially the old heads like us who have been into the culture and the community for a long time, like, you vibe with people. It's a vibe no matter what, and people want to help people. And I think, you know, that's transformed over the years to that living kind of on social media, through YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. But I mean, that community feel is still there. So I love to hear this.
Absolutely.
I
totally agree.
What was the vibe around the ladies at SneakerCon when you would connect with them? What was the chatter, the conversation?
Man, like, from the very first SneakerCon that I ever went to a few years ago, it wasn't a lot of women. Like, there were some, I'm not gonna say there were none, but there weren't a lot. And to see that to now, that there's so many women out there, there's women resellers out there. When I was on the panel this past weekend, I saw a young lady that I had met. I did something with the Gathering Spot, which is like this exclusive membership community. And they wanted to talk about reselling. And then I was the only female on the panel. And she was there, and she started asking some questions about being a woman in the sneaker game and things like that. And I'm sitting here, and I see her over there, and I'm like, just to see, you know what I mean? Like, the excitement of just seeing a lot of women that are either reselling, selling, they may have booths doing other stuff like t-shirts, you know, apparel, whatever. It's great. It's super dope. So, and I think a lot of women have been waiting for that. They've been waiting for those people like Jazz. They've been waiting for those people like Simply Be. Those women, those trailblazer women, they've been waiting for those opportunities for those women to step out into themselves, so then they can feel more comfortable with being themselves and being out with everyone else. And I feel like the women that I have met in the sneaker community have just been like super dope. Like, you know what I mean? I can't even imagine being like someone saying that they felt left out. You know what I mean? Because they've been so welcoming, and it's fun, man. That's like really what it is.
It is, and it's a different time. And I was actually talking about this with Jazz and with our girl TJ, Talks with TJ, and Aisha at SneakerCon a little bit, right? And like the women have been there the whole time, but there was never really a platform. I mean, I think one thing that Jazz said was that, you know, it wasn't necessarily a safe space for us to be a part of back in the day. And if you were a certain shoe size, there weren't drops in our sizes. And like the kids' releases used to look different. Like my first pair of 4s that I got, I thought they were fake. I was like, the girl got played. There's no bump in the midsole.
And I got big feet, so I feel your pain. Unfortunately, like I've never been able to wear kids' shoes. Unfortunately, like I would love to save $50. Like, can I save $1 or $2?
I can't get my hands on them though, girl. Though, so
it's so difficult.
You might be saving money having a bigger size because you can actually get retail. For me now, size 7, 6.5.
It depends. I'm an 8, 8.5 in men's.
Okay.
So I am like the average men's size. So sometimes it's difficult for me too. So I feel your pain because I have a lot of friends that are in the little feet crew, and they just like, it's so difficult. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Well, no, I'm joking. It's period. Anyway, no matter what size you are, to be real, unless you're like a 13, maybe. But it's just difficult because resellers really just, you know, and I'm not mad at them. I have a very weird position because I have a lot of really close friends that are resellers. So I get both sides of the coin, but it still sucks when I want to buy a pair of freaking Air Force Ones and I got to pay $160 for them joints. Like, are you serious?
Well, I think that's the point, right, Tiona, is that reselling's cool because that's like your business or whatever, but it's when you price gouge. It's like, why am I paying 10, 12x retail? Like, come on, man.
Right.
Sneakers are like a moment right now. So people don't know how to price things. I think that's what a lot of it is like now that sneakers are a vibe, people will be like, where do I get the Jordan 1? So anything on that sneaker shop that says draw, even if there is no hype, the bots and the resellers attack it. So like it doesn't give anyone a chance even to get basic stuff. Like to your point, the Air Force Ones, like used to be able to pull up the Foot Locker. Let me get like 7 pairs now. Nope.
No, forget about it. You got to buy them a year in advance.
It's
like,
wild.
It's crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy. That's why it's really important, and we talked about this on the panel, that you build relationships with people. And not saying that you're going to get it for free.
Of course not.
Or get it at a discount even, but at least building relationships so you know kind of like where to go. And I, you know, when I refer some of the people that hit me up about shoes to resellers that I work with, I make it a point to really only refer people that I've stood in line with, people that I've really like gotten to know in this game, because there's a lot of fakes, a lot of fugazi, funny style stuff that goes on. So it's important, and that protects my brand too. Even though I don't get paid from those referrals, which is fine, I do it just because I want you to get your shoe. You know what I mean? Like I want you to, you know, rock out. You know what I mean? So you can send me your picture on Friday. Thank you. So
it's important though, because a lot of people think that like, oh, you got the plug. The plug doesn't necessarily mean discount or free. It means like you have people that are looking out for you that are like, oh, I know that this is the pair that you like. Like when on Easy Day, when I was trying to get the Wave Runners, I had a couple people that were like, hey, I entered for you. I already have a pair. Like to me, that's what it's about. So I like that I feel like people forget that when they talk about, you know, who's the plug? How do you have all the heat? Now we still pay for that heat.
Got that right.
No, I've been really, really blessed in a lot of instances to not pay for certain things or to get a discount on certain things, and I'm very thankful for that. But majority of the shit in my arsenal, I've paid for it or I've traded for it. So it's like, okay. And in some instances, it was not cheap. I ended up getting my Wave Runners in DC at SneakerCon.
Okay.
Shout out Token Miami. Like Token, they came through, they had my size. And shout out to like Didi and Babs and Kick, like, they hooked me up. Like, they were like, you want the Wave Runners? I'm like, yeah. They was like, all right, girl, hold on. They went and they found my size for me. They was like, we found it for you. Now let's talk to him about this price. I was like, oh, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's that community thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in some instances it is missing.
Yeah.
There's certain people that don't respect it.
No, they just here for the money.
They're in it for the money, right? And you can weed those people out. Just like with anything. Like, you weed out the people that aren't real. And I'm super glad that I have this community, that I have people that I can hit up like, yo, who's doing the raffle for da-da-da-da? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that makes a huge difference.
Oh, Tiona, we could talk to you for days about this, but you know, we ain't got all that kind of time.
We ain't got that kind of time.
But folks, stay tuned, because coming up next, America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane, the premier digital marketplace for dope kicks. Listen, Tiona got some dope heat, I know, to show y'all, because I can already see it on the wall. Who knows what she's going to bring out? Yo, she keeps going in and out. You know why? Because people calling her. They heard about the heat. They're like, damn.
They're like, we hear you talking about the plugs.
We heard heats and plugs. Now they calling. Hey, what's good? What's good?
Oh, really? What are you doing?
Tell me more.
So stay tuned, folks. What's good, everybody? We are back, and you know what time it is. America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane. Listen, y'all, if you are involved in this world and this culture we call sneakers, and you do not know Chad and Adina Jones, you do not know Sneaker Galactus, and you are not about that life, can I tell you, man, get on anotherlane.com, check it out, support them, check out the community. I mean, it's excellent. Now, Tiona, Shoe and Tell is all about our guests, so take it away.
Ooh, okay. So, shout out Singer Galactus. What's up, bro? I met him randomly working on a new content piece, and he was one of my interviewees, and we know a lot of the same people. Super dope soul. His sneaker game is like, his sneaker knowledge is insane.
PhD in sneakers.
He's the god,
like,
right, Rod?
He
the
really,
sneaker
really
god.
He's the sneaker god at Galactus. Yes, got it. Super dope soul. So shout outs to him. So I didn't really know what to pick. And if there's anything like that you see on the wall or whatever, just let me know. I'll run and grab it. I sound like I'm at Foot Locker. If there's anything you see on the wall.
Do you have any size 7 over there?
Yeah, but 7? I don't. This is a Foot Locker. No, I don't have it. Why? Because I sold it through the back door. No,
Woo, sheesh.
so I just picked like a couple of pairs that I've just been like really into, or that have been like all-time favorites of mine. But it's hard because I try to only buy things that I love. That's important to me, especially when you've got a lot of shit. Okay, so anyway.
You can only wear so many shoes at one time. So why am I going to buy stuff just because it's out? You know?
Yeah, like, and for me, we're Leos, right?
Yep.
Gab, so you already know how that goes.
That's right.
Once you start.
Yeah, but my Virgo side, because I'm on the cusp, that takes over a little bit, and it's like, rent is important.
Yeah, me, I'm like, spend it all. Who cares?
Who cares?
You don't need to eat. You can
YOLO.
eat for a month. Fuck it. I hate myself. Like, the whole month of August, I don't know what kind of special brand of drugs I was on, but I literally was just out here like, oh, free avocado? Oh, yeah, come on, let me get... I bought so much shit, like, it was insane. So, protection pack.
Always.
I actually got the black. I hit and extra butter for the black ones, and I wanted the gray because the black. I don't really like a whole lot of all black sneakers, but there are some that I really, really, really rock with. And although the all black or the black and gray-ish looking protection pack was fire, this gray, sorry. So I had to trade for these. These are.
I like them.
So freaking fire, and I wear them a lot. So
Livestock, baby.
These are my baby.
Wear your kicks, y'all.
Also, shouts to New Balance, right? I feel like people, they doing their thing. Like New Balance, they got heat.
Right now.
Absolutely, and I've like connected with some of the guys and girls over at New Balance, and they're just all dope, just really cool people. And as you can see, or maybe not see, this whole bottom row is New Balance collab that I love. Like, I'm a Leon Dore.
Oh,
Absolutely love his stuff. Like, I'm waiting for my high top 550s next year. Like,
okay.
I'm like, let's go. I need those, please. I'm gonna wear them every day. And the Kith anniversary joints
Yep.
are over here too. The Water Be the Guide. Bricks and Wood. Like, I even have the Stray Rats over here too.
Ooh.
New Balance.
Okay.
I'll grab them. Hold on.
I was saying, my favorite of the New Balance collabs, though, I have to say. Like, I love the
Yeah.
Bodated No Bad Days. Those are fire.
And I came across these at Versus, which is a store out here in Atlanta. Shout out to Versus. I love them. They had these in my size. I was like, oh no, I will be there on, like, I think I was just there randomly. They had them, and I was like, I'm gonna need put those in a bag. So
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and put these over here. And
go ahead.
They're comfortable, too.
One thing about New Balance, they never, ever, ever skimp on comfortability, like, ever. And of course, Joe Fresh.
Gotta do it.
Listen, I already knew I was gonna have to pay resale for these. Like, you already know with a certain shoe, like, you're just ready for it. It's not the fact of when, it's how much. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, I know I have to do this, but how much? And I sold some stuff. I traded some stuff. Like, I had to have these, and I am very, 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 very much in love with these because I wanted the Anatomy of the Heart. And I was in Chicago during that drop. It was like brick. Listen, Joe, I love you. Okay? I love you. I think you're an amazing person, but I was not about to die for you. It wasn't happening. Wasn't happening. Ninjas was waiting outside. They was bundled up, and was not happening. I was too big. No, I took an L, and trying to find those was just like afterwards, like, nah. And I wasn't gonna give them my firstborn, so it just wasn't. Unfortunately, but maybe I'll come across a pair. And then I saw Wes with them on, right? I saw Wes with them on, and I was just like, bro, did you have to do me like that? He goes, T. I'm like, man. Man, I'm so hurt. I'm gonna get them one day. I don't know what day that's gonna be, but one day.
One day it's gonna happen.
One day.
We with you.
I absolutely love my
love
threes,
yes.
and I love the whole story behind them. I love just the details around them, the box, just everything. I love the satin silk liner on the inside. Like, this is just. And did you see the Jordan 1? Not a question of when.
How much?
Those gotta come with the kid. Like, that's it. Man. My one and only, like, I actually won these off the Sneakers app. Ooh. And I couldn't believe it. And I was kind of worried that they were gonna send me like a pair that I wasn't crazy about.
I said, what color did you get?
I got lot 15. Lot 15. And I was really excited about these. I actually just talked about these in a video because purple is one of my favorite colors. Being Leo's royalty, purple is like our color. And pink. I really have started to have a love for hot pink. And have both of those. And the suede on these are really good. Some of them, to me, I feel like some of the lots that were like the leather wasn't as good a quality as it should have been.
Yeah.
Just like with Dunks period, a lot of the ones that I've been seeing, the quality of the leather hasn't been all that great. So when I saw these and the quality of the suede was pretty good, I was like, okay, we can keep these. I'm very excited about these. And so, lot 15.
I like it.
Let's go with everything.
Yeah.
With everything.
That's versatile, man.
I have a bunch of everything, man. Like, and it's all stuff that I really wear. Like, I really put on my feet. Is this for you, Gabby?
Oh, snap.
So before we jumped on, just for everyone that's listening, we were talking about mids because you know your girl loves a mid.
Mids
this
are fun.
is a special pair, whether you rock with mids or not, though.
They're a very special pair. I actually had her very first shoe with Reebok, and it's in there somewhere. And I was in love with her from then. Now, I'm not big on gold jewelry. My parents were very much, into gold jewelry. My father thought he was Slick Rick, and has this.
Okay, so do I. Don't worry.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not anymore.
He had the
'cause I
dope
think my
robe, get the
parents
4-finger
ruined that
ring.
shit for me. Like my dad he had like 3 gold chains and he's like, yeah, I got to get the diamonds. I'm like, okay. I'm a silver girl. So, and that's because I think it's just the rebellion against my parents and always having to wear goddamn gold. So, that's why I don't have any pieces of her actual jewelry because I don't really wear gold that much. But I really love, and I actually got the opportunity to interview Melanie. Oh, what did I say? Yeah. I got a chance to interview her, and she was just really dope. She was just a really great soul, which made me love her apparel, made me love her sneakers, love everything that she's doing even more. When you meet somebody and they live up to that expectation that you have of them, and she told me that my sneaker room was dope. I was like, girl, you want to come over? Like, girl, you want to smoke some hookah? What? I got some water downstairs, girl. Don't play around. Good water from Whole Foods.
I'm dying.
This shoe was very special to me. This one and the very first shoe that I have of hers, the Reebok. These are very special. And I don't jump into the mids conversation where people, trash them and all the other stuff. I don't really jump into that combo because, again, I feel like you should buy what you like.
Yep.
If you like mids, then
do you?
Do that. Like, who am I to talk about what you should and shouldn't have in your closet? Because that's your closet. Don't come for me because I'm going to buy what I want. And you should too. Because it's your money. You work hard for it. Buy what the hell you want. Like, I don't wear a lot of mids, but I have these and I have one other pair of mids that were also designed by a woman, a black woman at that. And
is what it is.
Just that.
Love it.
It is what it is. Yeah. And I do have another shoe that's really important to me. Hang on one second.
I love it.
I have.
Okay.
Beast.
Okay.
These are probably, this was like a huge grail of mine. Like the cactus plants, Vapor Max, like I absolutely love these. And I love them because I just love Vapor Max, period. Like I have the Vapor Max Random. Hell yeah. Do y'all remember the Random? Where each shoe was different?
Yep.
And a lot of people weren't on that shoe.
You were.
A lot of people weren't. And I don't remember how I saw them, but I was like, oh, these are coming home with me. And that was like my first pair of vapes, and I absolutely love them. And when these came out, green is another one of my, like Hunter Green is one of my other favorite colors.
Love Hunter.
And the way that they, you got the red here, you've got the smiley face in the back, like just dope details. I'm really into details and story. And so I came across these randomly. One of my homies posted a resale shop out here, and homie had them for like $500 or something like that. And again, I thought I was rich, whatever, spend it all. You don't need to eat later. But I thought the price was really good for my size because normally they're like $1,000 easily. And when I got to the store, the condition was great, and I was just like, not every day you get to come across a grail, so. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Had to grab these. So, anything else you want me to grab?
No. I don't want to suffer from. I already have it. I don't want to get more shoe envy. Like Gabby's more like, nah, I'm thirsty. Keep feeling.
I'm like, nah. I want to see all of them.
I'm like, no.
You know what? I have another shoe that's actually not.
We're gonna have to do an after show feats in the streets because Jarod's getting hangry over there. But I'm loving the display right now.
Oh, the display's great.
I do have these. And these are just like, now I got these for my birthday. Shout outs to Air Zev. And he made these for me. He gave them to me on like literally the day before my birthday. And these are so fire because they look like they've been colored on.
Yeah. The texture is dope, I was going to say.
The texture on these are fire.
Love
this
that.
Is kind of like a mint
green
swoosh. And it's a custom Abby. But I just thought these were so fire. I have not worn them yet, and I'm looking for the right thing to set these off.
Yep.
Because I just feel like these were really fire. And he's doing some great things over there, and he's making some really dope.
Full fit.
His name is
gotta be correct for that one. And who is that? Shout him out. Who is it?
Air Zev.
Okay.
DEV. Super fire, even down to the box.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I love how it looks like the hand drawing on it. Like it's just it's
it's
cool.
It's dope. And I like, I like different things that not everybody's gonna have, and I like things that people like. I love details. I love story. That's really big for me. So, very excited about this pair.
Love it. Well, folks, I mean, listen, I know y'all got some real sneaker envy right now, all up in Tionas' sneaker room, like Gabby thirsty over there. Listen, it's all good. But T, thank you so much for joining us, man. This was incredible. We loved having you. Tell the people what you got what you're working on, what's coming up next, and where they can find you.
Cool. I'm everywhere. TIONA_DENIECE on everything. Make it real simple for you because the spelling is already hard enough. So keep it simple for you. What's coming up next? So much cool stuff. The biggest thing though is my EP Mask and Glove that I am doing as a collaboration with Flea Lord. Shout outs to Laura Mob, my family. And I'm really excited about that. And the vibe of the whole EP is very like Method Man and Mary J. Blige, All I Need type of vibe.
Okay,
and
all right.
I am so, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do, because I have a snippet of one of the videos that I did where I'm singing a song called Hood Love, and it's so vibey. Like the whole EP is
I
very
saw it,
vibey.
people. Fire.
You seen it?
I seen it.
And it's like, I'm very, very excited about it. And I haven't put out a body of work in a really long time. The last body of work that I put out was The Girl Next Door. And if you're on Pandora, I have my own Pandora station as well. So you can hear that and other things that sound like me. Actually, a really dope station. I listen to it from time to time. Not because I'm into myself, because it's an actually good station. Feel me? So, you'll hear bits and pieces of that, but it's an evolution and it's very different. It does have that Griselda grimy kind of feel, but we're talking about like love and relationships, things like that. How I describe it outside of the Meth and Mary thing is the girl next door meets a hood dude and falls in love, and what happens at that point, I don't know.
All I can say is, you know the vibes, folks. Y'all know where to find us. We are part of that Bomb podcast family. You can find us with the original Bomb Show. You can find us with rap names, Growing Up the Same, Woke Bros, and of course us. And we are on all social media platforms at Kicks and Shit Show. Until next time, peace.